So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of building a DIY cockpit. So in the previous video we built the frame of the cockpit, added the wheels and the real seat into it. And in this one we will be building a custom tilt adjustment mechanism for the wheelbase. And it will be spring loaded and will have a quick release just like a real car. So let's start building. So these are the laser cut parts we need. And this is a flex plate and it's the only stainless steel part, and everything else is just mild steel. This is a base plate and it definitely needs a cleanup before welding. So I 3D printed a jig to hold the pieces for welding, and I just have to screw them tight against the jig to keep it straight. There are small tabs at the bottom of these pieces which will fit perfectly into the slots on the base plate, and this will keep both the pieces straight and aligned for welding. After trying to weld, I realized that there is something wrong with my welding machine. So when I checked, the welding wire was rusted and the rusted part get either stuck at the nozzle or get blown back by the arc. But I figured if I crank up the voltage and the wire feed rate, I could manage it somewhat. So I did that, but to end up with the plate getting warped due to the heat. And in order to fix this, I need to heat the other side, so I have to weld 2 more lines on the opposite side. And after finishing one line of weld, the machine ran out of welding wire, so I had to go old school and finish the other line using stick welding. After completing the other side, I ended up with this monstrosity, but some intense cleanup session later we got this. Like nothing ever happened and it's completely straight now. So these are square base plate with pre-stamped holes, and I'll be using these to make the mounting section for the tilt mechanism. It's cheaper to buy these rather than using laser cut parts. So I cut and weld them into a C shape so it can be clamped onto the cockpit. This 3D printed jig will hold the mounting plates together so it can be welded straight to the other piece. So this is how it looks like after welding, and now we need to paint all the parts, so we'll be doing 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of paint. This is the quick release handle and I used the angle grinder to smooth out the edges so it's easy to hold. To make the torsion springs, I couldn't find spring steel anywhere, but 304 grade stainless steel smooth rod was available on Amazon. So I bought two pieces of 4 mm diameter and 600 mm long smooth rods and used an 18 mm diameter ceiling fan shaft to wrap the rod around. The leg length of a torsion spring is the distance between the center of its inner diameter to the end of its leg. So here the leg length is 80 mm. The spring should have 3 loops and 90-degree legs, and we need 2 springs in total. So now it's time for assembling all the parts together. So let's start with the cam lever first. This is a barrel nut and also known as a double nut. It's normally used in making of furnitures. Here we are using a 12 mm diameter barrel nut with an M8 screw hole in the middle for the 100 mm long M8 bolt to pass through. So this is how the final assembly looks like, and now we need to mount this to the cockpit and mount the wheelbase onto it. Now one issue we have is that the mechanism tend to slip, and this is due to the flat washer and the stainless steel flex plate are too smooth and do not have enough friction in between them to hold on together. So we have to use an Allen key to tighten the bolt to 100% so the clamping force will hold everything in place. And this works very well, and I have been using the setup like this for the past month. But when we try to release the cam lever, the clamping force is too high and there is not enough leverage from the small lever, so we can't get it to move. And we again need to use the Allen key to loosen the bolt so we can use the cam lever. To solve this, I made a bigger lever for more leverage, and I just got it delivered from the laser cut shop, so I haven't grinded the edges smooth or even painted it. But let's just go and test it first. The big lever does the job pretty well, but I still prefer the smaller one since I like the smaller profile and I don't use the quick release very often, so using the Allen key doesn't seem to be a big downside. I'm also adding a starter for a wheelbase, and this one has two positions, ignition and starter. It's a really good quality piece and it's the only one with a really nice key that I saw on Amazon. So I 3D printed a bracket for the starter, and the starter will be wired to the same Arduino Pro Micro that controls the pedal and shifter, and it will act as a button input, and that button can be later binded to the in-game starter. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and I was thinking about building an edge parallel shifter in the next video. So if you guys have any ideas or recommendation, please leave a comment and see you in the next one.